Well, here we are today with Sharon. Sharon, nice to have you with us. And
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
In relation to language or just about myself?
Both.
I live in the United States, in Maine, in the far northeast corner. I work as a data scientist for institutional research at a college. I do a lot of music and I do a lot of Latin and Greek.
Yes, you do. So what led you to Shameless University? What had you done in Latin and Greek before?
Well, so before I had taken Latin for 2 years in high school, and then I didn't take it in my senior year. And when I went to college, in one of the big lecture halls, there was this huge Latin inscription on the wall. And I would sit in class and try to figure out what it said. And I had forgotten and I couldn't make it out. But I always wanted to come back to Latin so I could figure that out. So I had come about a year before I started at SeumasU, I had come across Orberg's Lingua Latina per se illustrata. I don't know how, but I got it and I was just like, wow, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And I started it, but I couldn't sort of maintain the momentum on my own. And then I had also started Greek about 20 years previously and hadn't continued with that. But I started wondering, is there something for Greek like Lingua Latina? And in Googling on that, I came to Shamus's The Petrologist blog and read it, all of it. And I was like, this is the teacher for me. So I saw he was offering classes and I wasn't sure when he would start his Greek and Latin classes from the beginning again, you know, if he would go through a whole cycle. And I also wanted to have just a little more people in my life, things that I was doing with people. And I was a little unsure about the price, but I made the decision and the price has been perfectly fine ever since then. It's a bargain. So those were the things that led me to SeumasU and Wonderful. To enroll in SeumasU.
Now, you're one of our most diligent and long-term students. What could someone new to SeumasU expect?
Well, Shamus, they could expect, who is a very kind and generous and patient teacher and will always answer questions and never goes too fast and makes things really clear. And in Greek, I'm not sure if he also has a Greek series that starts from the beginning with his own Greek materials,
sometimes.
But sometimes. But the one I started with was Athanase, which is the book that I had found out was like Lingua Latina, although not as good, but the best there is in Greek. And I started out with Lingua Latina per se illustrata, and both of those start pretty slowly, or slowly isn't the right word, very gently. But what I found, and so the assignment was typically to read half a chapter a week, and then bring it to class, and we would read through it together in class and discuss it and answer any questions. And Shamus would ask us questions in Greek or Latin to give us practice hearing the language and using the language. And just building up very slowly from us knowing nothing to knowing more. I would say my biggest tip for success is to do at least a little bit every day. For the first couple chapters, you can probably get by with just reading it the afternoon before your class, but pretty soon things start to ramp up. And it wasn't till long after I should have started this that I finally developed the habit of reading a little bit of Latin and Greek every day. And after that, I developed the habit of rereading a little bit of Latin and Greek every day. So I was getting review, and those have really been very helpful. And I wish I'd started earlier.
But now I tell people to do that as often as I can. I remind them. What's been the outcome for you in terms of your Greek and Latin now? You've been going on almost 2 years, maybe 2 years. I don't know. But yeah, what's it? What's your
7
ability?
semesters. 7 semesters. I can speak in Latin and Greek. I can read some things. I can read the Greek New Testament, for example. I don't have all of the vocabulary, but I can recognize all of the grammar. And because I'm familiar with the Bible in English, I often know what a word must mean. So it's not an unbearable burden to look up the words I don't know. And that's, excuse me, that's very satisfying. And I actually started being able to read it only a few months, it seems, maybe 6 months into taking Greek with Seamus. And it's just wonderful. I feel like I can just reach out and touch the biblical authors when I read them in Greek. Latin, I'm in the middle of a consolidation project where I'm reviewing all of the first textbook, and then there are some books that come between that and the second textbook in the Orbert series, and I'm sort of reviewing all of those to get a really solid foundation. I find that this is true in many things I study. If I get a little too far ahead of myself, where I'm like, okay, I'm not understanding this. I'm not understanding this much harder text I'm reading. I like going back to basics and reviewing them from the beginning. So I'm doing that in both Greek and Latin, and it's working really well.
Wonderful. Well, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for sharing your experience.
Sure.
Other people will be encouraged, and we look forward to seeing you in our next term in a few weeks.
Great. Thanks for having me, and I look forward to it.
Thanks.